Okay, so this is probably gonna be super weird because I feel very awkward already, but if all of you people can do it, then maybe I can be brave enough to do this. So welcome to my first video. As you could tell from the title, it's gonna be my first Flosstube video. I discovered cross-stitching, I think, at the end of 2014 when I wanted to make a gift for my then boyfriend, and I just jumped right in with a very big project, which, by the way, I still haven't finished, which you will see later in the video. I will show that whip. But this is where it all started, so I think I've been cross-stitching for almost 2 years now, and I think I've been watching Flosstube for about a year now. And I get so excited when I see everyone's videos that I thought I would give it a try and see if I can be part of this awesome community. So my name is Irina. I'm from the Netherlands. You can call me Jay. It's easier. Like, my name is very hard to pronounce for Dutch people, let alone for English people or English speaking people. So you can call me Jay. I'm 24, going on 25. I'll be turning 25 in about a month. And yeah, I just graduated from uni last week, so I'm starting my adult life soon. So now that I don't have to go to uni anymore, I'm trying to cross stitch like basically all the time. So there's going to be a couple things that's going to be that I'm going to be showing in this video. I'm going to start with some of my finishes. I don't have a whole lot of finishes, and why that is you will see later. This will become clear from the video. So I don't have all my finishes with me anymore because I gave some away, and for some reason I cannot find one of the ornaments I cross-stitched I think in the beginning of this year. So I think I have 5 here, or at least 4 here, and then one package of the one. And then I forgot one upstairs, but so maybe I'll keep it for next video. So I think one of the first things I finished was a kit from a local budget store. They had these really cutesy budget cross-stitch kits. They were like, I think $1.99 or $2.99. And this is actually the second one I finished of this. So this is a cute mama owl with a baby owl. I really like owls. This is not something I would typically display in my home, but I thought it was very cute because I love owls. So this was just done with some wool thread that was in the kit. It's not very good thread, but I still think it looks very good, especially considering that this is, I now know what it's like to cross stitch with DMC. This is very good, and it looks very neat. I don't know if you can see it, but it lies very flat and it's not bulky at all. So it is good if you want to try something with as a beginner. The only thing that was really annoying was stitching these long rows of blue. Like, the entire background took forever, but I'm very happy with the result. So as you can see, this is still an unfinished object. Its companion piece, which I hope I can insert the picture like here or there or like somewhere in this frame, is already been finished into a pillow. I had it on my couch for a while, but it's been in storage since I moved back to my parents, and they don't like owl pillows on the couch for I don't know what reasons, because owls are pretty cool, right? So the companion piece has like only one owl, and it has a little bit more black and pink, and I mean, I like it, but I like this one better. So then a very mini finish, this cute little wreath. I cross-stitched this for Christmas, so it's gonna be Christmas in like 2 weeks, so maybe I should FFO this into a Christmas card and send it to my grandparents. I know they love it. This would be my second cross-stitch Christmas card if I send it to my grandparents, because I cross-stitched them a reindeer. I think, yeah, that must have been either last year of the year or the year before. If I can, I will also insert a picture of said reindeer next to my head. So the ornament which I finished is a Dimensions kit ornament. It's called Ho 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 ornament. I only have the package here, so I can only show you the picture. But it's this one. I FFO'd it completely. The, how do you call this? Like the hanger, steel, iron thing. I don't know, like I'm blabbering, but this part and the felt background came in the kit. This was a super easy stitch because all the background is just unstitched, so it's basically just the ho 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 and the border around it, and the border is only like half cross stitch, so this was a pretty fast project. And then one of my favorite finishes is this one. This is completely framed. I don't know if you recognize her, but this is Boo from Monsters & Co. Or like, I don't know how this movie is called in English. I think Monsters & Co. This is Boo with Mike's helmet. I got this, sorry for the glare by the way. I got this pattern as a PDF off of Etsy. And originally she came with shoes, but I only had this frame, so I decided to like stitch a border. This was not originally on the chart, and cut off her feet because I just wanted to have her in this frame. And I mean, the boots, they are not really the most important part of this pattern anyway, so. But I really like her, and at first when I was stitching this part, I was like, okay, this is super dark. Will this ever be like a good color? But when I look at her in the camera and I see her from a distance, she looks really good, and I display her in my room. Nice, like one of my first really finished cross stitches, so I'm really proud of her. I might actually go back and maybe someday like stitch either Mike or Sully. Yeah, Sully to go with her. And then I think my last finished is this one, this cute little owl. This took surprisingly long, by the way. I thought that this should be done in like an hour, maybe 2, and it took me almost 4 hours to finish this. Yes, this is deceivingly more time consuming, especially with all the fringe knots and like these really kind of intricate snowflake stitches. It was fun to do, but like my back of the work has not become super pretty when I did this, but luckily no one will see this. And this was part of a kit that came with Cross Stitcher magazine in the October 2014 issue. This is when I first got into cross stitching, so I'm pretty sure I started like late October. I don't know if I can find, I do have the kit here. Okay, yes, this is the picture. So they're supposed to be finished in these woodland creature ornaments. I've stitched this owl. I have the white felt and only like the filling of this. Yeah, I really like this, and I have not fully decided which one I'm gonna do, but I think I'm gonna do the hedgehog because I only have enough like linen material to do 2. And I can do them all, but I don't know what kind of material they use for this. This is sucky material, by the way. This is so, I don't know, stiff? Yeah, stiff, that's the word I'm looking for. So stiff. So this is really not fun to stitch on at all. But maybe that's why it took so long. But it was fun to do, and I will do the second one and then both of them, fully finish them into objects. So yeah. So yeah, I think I have about, counting, yeah, about 8 finished objects right now, which is not so much considering I've been stitching for 2 years. But as will become apparent now, I have a lot of whips. And some of them are pretty huge. Some of them I've been working on for 2 years. Some of them I've only worked on for a couple hours, and there's projects that have been lying there for ages. Others I just recently started on. I'm really like tricky with my hobbies. Sometimes I cross stitch for weeks and weeks and weeks on end, and sometimes I don't do anything for like 6 months. So it's not like I've been stitching all the time, but I enjoy it when I do it, and that's what matters. So I think I want to go into some of my whips. Right now I have 25 whips. And I have 25 whips because at some point I was going through the Stitch Mania, I guess, Stitch Mania Facebook group, and I was seeing all these arguments that people brought for, like, why should I not just stitch on everything I own? Because I own it and I want to enjoy it, and why should I wait stitching it until I maybe not even like the project anymore? I can always toss it later if I don't like it or give it to someone else. So this is why I decided to start all of my kits and 1 or 2 projects from magazines. And this is what I did, and in total I got 25 whips now. This is all my kits, not all of my patterns, because I've decided to leave my patterns for now and start them later, which I will also tell a little bit more about later. So today I'm not going to show you all of my whips because 25 whips are a lot, but I'm going to show you 10, including one of, I think my most important whip of the moment. So I'm going to start with, okay, I'm just going to put the pile like upside down. So the first whip is that Woodland kit, because I finished one and I consider them to be just one whip. So if I finish the little hedgehog, this is going to be the completely finished project. I haven't started on the hedgehog just yet, so this is like 50% done. So I haven't got anything to show for the hedgehog yet, but this will be started soon and hopefully finished soon, maybe even for Christmas. These would be nice looking in the tree. So this is going to be crinkly, by the way, because everything's still in the packaging. I thought about getting them out before I started, but then I thought, no, because then you won't know where everything will go. So my second one is a DMC kit I got off of Sew and Sew for very cheap. It was for sale, I think, under 10 pounds. This is a DMC kit called Windsor Castle Evening. I'm not a huge fan of these kits, but I mean, this is nice. So yeah, Windsor Castle. It's nice. I mean, it doesn't have so much detail, but it always looks better from further away. So my progress on this one is not super far. Look, make sure I don't drop the needle. I started on the castle and some of the green underneath. I always start my projects in the middle, so except for like really huge ones, I don't, but always in the middle because it's easiest as always. So this is a kit, so, and obviously this is done with DMC threads because duh, it's DMC. Would be kind of weird if they don't use their own threads, don't you think? So it's going to be crinkly again because I'm going to be putting everything back right away as well because this is going to be chaos otherwise. And obviously, always when you try to do this, they don't go in because you're doing 2 things at the same time. Well, we can fix, oh yeah, okay, I got it. And totally random paper, I don't know what to do with. Okay, so, okay, this is funny because, okay, Claire, take it out of the package. By the way, I use a lot of like kits. Sometimes the plastic gets destroyed, so I use packaging from like shirts. Sometimes you buy these athletic shirts at the supermarket or something, and they come sometimes in these packaging with the buttons. I always keep this because you can always put a project in and you don't have to spend money on the project backs. Although they are super, super cute, I just like to spend my money on stash. So this is a third of those little beginner $1.99 kits I mentioned earlier. On the back you can see all the kits. I don't know where I am. Yeah. Okay, so I showed you this one. And I also did this one. This is the other pillow, which I have also finished. This is into a full pillow, and this is just about to be done in a full pillow. So I went to the store again when I showed my grandmother I was cross stitching, and she bought this kit. And she cannot do this anymore because she looked at that Ada that was inside. There's Ada inside. I don't know which count Ada. I think it's 16 count Ada. I'm not sure. It says on here in centimeters, which makes no sense. She cannot do it anymore because the stitch holes are just too tiny, and she needs glasses and like 6 magnifiers. I mean, the woman's 81, so I can understand why this is too hard for her at this point. So she gave it to me, and I'm stitching on it. So this is a nice kit, and I will, if I finish it, I will give it back to her finished and framed, because this is really not my style. I don't really like the floral type patterns. I mean, it's nice, but I wouldn't put it up. So I'm not super far. Let's see which way up it goes. This way. Yeah, not super far, but you know, there's some blues there, and I started on some of the green. This is only like 6 hours of work on it, so as you will see with most of these projects, they only have a couple hours on them, most of them, because at first I started with a rotation, like 25 project rotation, where I just did 2 hours on each and then moved on to the next project. This worked for like almost 2 rotations, and then some projects already had more work on them. But right now I'm focusing on one specific piece, which I need to have ready for a specific date. We will come into that one a little bit later, but I've been exclusively working on this one for, I think, about a week now, and before that I got stuck on some projects here and there where I just worked more hours on. So some projects only have a couple hours of work, but others are more advanced. And I will give this, like I said, to my grandmother when I'm finished with it, hopefully someday. So the next one is also on one of these plasticky kits that where shirts go in and stuff. So yes, this was also a kit, yes. This is a soda stitch pattern called The Village in Fairy Tale. This came with fabric and all the threads, and the company that packaged this, I bought it in Indonesia, and I know they're originally from, where are they from? I don't know where this company's from, somewhere in Asia. Maybe Japan? Yeah, I guess Japan. So I bought this in Indonesia when I was there in the summer of 2015, and they also made the kits. So they made the floss cards, really cute, really handy, but I don't know who cut these, but these are so tiny. I mean, you're constantly changing color and color and color, so this is kind of annoying, but oh well, you can't complain, because they put in thread, so that's nice. These are all DMC colors, so for some I'm thinking I might run out of thread actually. I mean, I got some spare ones here, but that also came in with the kit, some extras like the black and the green, but still I think I might run out of thread at some point. And it's nice then that it's just DMC. I can use one of my own skeins of DMC. Because this pattern is done in the super long row, you can do them multiple ways. Like I also really like this one, or just separately, or even like on top of each other. But the fabric that came with the pattern is just a long fabric, so I don't really have a choice. Oh, I could have flipped it, by the way, I now realize, but oh well, I already started, what you gonna do. So yes, not a lot of work on this one too. I think I started with the Love House. So this is a super long piece of fabric, like super long. And I started on the 4th house from the left. So this is basically not showing any form until you do the back stitching. Like, this is just blobs of color right now and not a lot of color too, but I think I'm about like 30% done with this house. Like, let me take a look at the pattern. Like, how far am I? Yeah, because most of the house itself is just white. You don't stitch it. So I think about 30%, and I think I will backstitch as I go because I don't want to do 8 houses of backstitching because this will take forever. And like I said, this is one of those whips where I only have 4 hours in. I really love soda stitch. Like, when I was in Indonesia, I I actively searched for a cross stitch store. And soda stitch is, for obvious geographical reasons, very popular in Indonesia. So I bought so many patterns. I only bought 2 kits and the rest patterns because I have so many DMC, I can just do with my own DMC. But yeah, love soda stitch. I think I have 15 to 20 patterns from soda stitch. So this is a pattern from a magazine. This is Cross Stitcher issue 179 from Christmas 2006. Ooh, there's something sticky here. I got this off of eBay because I just was into buying some of the magazines. I've stopped buying the magazines. I only have a couple. I think I have like 10 or something. I stopped buying the magazine because, like, you can get a whole lot digitally on your iPad or on your phone, and I mean, it's easier to zoom in and everything. And also because I realized that I do not make a whole lot of patterns from the magazines. I like them. All the magazines that I bought have some patterns in them that I really like, but for some reason I'm just not gravitating towards making them. Although from this magazine I've actually made, this is the second one I'm making from this magazine, because the first one I made is let me see, yes, this one. I just started this because this was the first pattern in the magazine that I sort of liked. I didn't keep it for myself. I finished it and then gave it to my aunt and uncle, which both turned 65 last year, and they're now retiring both, or are retired both. So I gave it to them, and then I cross-stitched like a 65 here, and I bought a very nice frame at a secondhand store, and I spray painted it lilac. Like I said, if I can find this picture, I will insert it here in the video because I think it turned out really, really pretty, but it was so stressful to make this with the deadline because I wanted to finish this for their birthday or their party that they did together to celebrate that they were both turning 65 and going with retirement. And on the last 3 or 4 days, I just stitched constantly on it so much, hours and hours and hours. Even at some point, my mom and I stitched on it at the same time with 2 needles, she on one corner and I on the other. And you can imagine how close you are together when you're stitching on such a tiny piece. Like, it's not a big piece. I think it's about, yeah, this big. If you're doing that with 2 people. So yes, that was kind of stressful, but okay. We tried. Obviously, I did not finish this because you just forget how long it sometimes takes to stitch something, so much longer than you think. So I didn't finish it, and then afterwards I just took my time to finish it, and then I went there on a separate occasion and I gave them the cross stitch in the frame, and they sent me a picture back like a couple days later that it's hanging in their home. So I'm really proud. This is one of the first actual gifts I gave to someone with this as a cross stitch, and it was really appreciated. So that's nice because I know I put a lot of work in it, but not everyone can always appreciate how much work you put in it and how much blood, sweat, and tears, basically, or like figuratively you put in it. So it's nice that my gift was really appreciated. So this is nice. But to come back to the whip, because this is what it was all about. It's the whip from this magazine is the Tatty Teddy Christmas, or the Christmas Tatty Teddy, basically. Yeah, I love Tatty Teddy. I don't know, I've never seen it before, but I know there's a whole range from Anchor with the Tatty Teddy. I don't like all of them because some of them are a little childish, but this one's really cute. I don't say childish as in as a grown-up we shouldn't stitch them, but they're too cutesy, too oriented towards kids, some of the pictures, which are nice if you want to put them in a baby room or children's room or something, but I don't have any children and don't plan on having any children very soon, so don't need to stitch those just yet. But this one's really cute. By the way, I always leave like my needles in like this. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna lose 1 or 2 needles like someday. So yeah, I'm this far with, okay, which way around? This way around, yes. I'm this far, like I basically, like, big part of the coat here done, part way of the belt buckle, and then I did some of the white of the band, and then some on his right leg. Yeah, left, right leg, yes. And this is actually going pretty fast, which I really like. I mean, there's a lot of oranges in. I don't know if you can see this, but this is always what I like so much about cross stitch. Like, when you put in certain colors, you think, I don't know if this is gonna work, but then you put all these colors together and they make a very pretty picture. I don't think I'm gonna finish this before this Christmas because I have a deadline again. Yes, I put myself on another deadline. Hopefully I will make this deadline. I will probably go back to my normal rotation, or at least some form of that rotation after I finish the project. So I just keep this one in the magazine on the design page, and it's easier to find. Okay, so the next one is a kit from Realis. This is, I think, a Russian company. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a Russian company. I don't think you can buy them on like Sew and Sew or anything, but I saw this particular one on a cross-stitching convention, or like, it wasn't a convention, a craft convention last year, and there were a couple of cross-stitch boots, and one of them had this one stitched, and oh my god, is it pretty. It is so pretty, but it's so big. You think it's pretty tiny, but it's not, no. Oh, the Tatty Teddy, by the way, was just stitched on some really stiff Ida I got at like a budget store, so it's not really particularly good Aida or anything. It's just, it does the job. So yes, there is so many extra floss with this one, guys, like so many. This is just, I don't think this is floss, by the way. I think this is like wool thread. I mean, it works the same, but it's, yeah, I guess it's wool. And the chart is actually super, super handy. I will show it like from, but it's colored. So it's not, it's very easy to find, because sometimes with black and white charts, it can be a pain in the butt to find different symbols. But this one's colored, and this is really easy. The only thing that's bad about colored charts, like when you highlight them, they don't show up. But yeah, I mean, everything has a good side and a bad side, right? So only have, how many hours? Like 2 hours of work in this. So didn't get to this one in the rotation yet, but I mean, so this is how far I went. I don't know. Yeah, this is like part of the wing, I guess. Or maybe it's upside down. I don't know. Do I have it well? Yeah, I have it well. I guess this is like somewhere in the middle of the wing. So this is how far I got. This is actually super nice stuff to stitch with. Like the stitches are super neat, and I'm not always like the best stitcher because sometimes I'm stitching very fast because I want to see some progress. But this one's actually really nice. And like these are like the weirdest threads, by the way, because they're just looped and it's just single strand looped, and I just take a very long piece, snap it off, and like loop it. So I have a loop method to start, and I have 2 threads. It's easier than snapping off 2 separate threads because usually they're not the same size. I didn't put all the colors on yet. I just been putting them on as I go. It is so soft, by the way. I just wonder what this is. I don't know. If anyone knows what kind of material Realist uses, let me know. And Realist has so many awesome projects, by the way. Like, oof, I've seen some I really want. Make sure this bag is so like torn. I need a new one, or finish something that I put in one of these button-up ones. Yeah, put everything back. Yay! So, yes, I don't know if it's super wise to show you this, but because this is a head project, head project, and have a heaven and earth designs. So, this is a weird story because last summer I was in Thailand for about 7 weeks. I was backpacking there, and then in between I was also for 3 weeks in Cologne. Long story, but in total I was away from home for 10 weeks. And obviously I did not bring any stitching because I'm not going to backpack with stitching. I mean, I get sometimes weird looks as it is when I'm stitching, and I'm not too bothered about it, but I didn't feel like answering like 60 million questions when you're in a hostel with people. And then again, I mean, I was on a holiday, so next time when I've grown up holidays, I will take my cross stitching. So on the very last weekend, I was in Bangkok. Before flying home, I was going and thinking, okay, you got to take advantage of the fact that probably DMC here is cheaper. So I found a store, or I tried to find a store where they sold cross-stitch supplies, which was pretty hard to find because there was supposedly a couple stores in different plazas and malls all over the city. So I checked out a couple, and none of them had any cross-stitching supplies. Like they had craft stuff, but then I found out they stopped selling the cross-stitch supplies, and there was no more. And then one of the stores, specific cross-stitch stores, that closed. So the only one that was left was a pin shop. Like Pin, I think most people know the designer Pin, and Pin in Asia also has a couple stores. So I went to the Pin store in one of the bigger malls because this was the only one, the shop-in-shop was the only one I could find, and I pretty much just grabbed DMC from 3,000 like down to like all the 3,000s. I grabbed all the 3,000s. I wasn't sure if I had them at home, but I don't know, like you can never go wrong with the double skein of DMC. So long story short, I also wanted to start a new pattern, and I had one on my computer downloaded called QS Alice from Hannah Lynn. Yes, I cannot actually show you this because I only printed out the first page of the chart. I just like to print the pages as I go because I mean, I found it a waste of paper to have like 40 pages of chart lying around and not do anything with the paper for maybe, I don't know, God knows how many years. So I just started on this last summer, and I stitched on it once or twice. Like I've not done a lot of this. I'm using parking, but it's a quick stitch, and I will try to insert the picture of the full design, by the way, but this is how far I have gotten with this stitch. I don't know, this is 14 count Aida. And this is gonna be pretty huge because this is just normal 14 count Aida, which is nice to stitch ahead. Hey, that's not so super tiny because I have other heights which I stitch on super tiny count fabrics. So this is nice. Yeah, this is really nice to stitch on. Not very far, and I hope like these colors will blend in as I get further because this is so contrasting right now, but I'm sure it'll look fine. I mean, I can show you from a distance, but I only done like this corner thing, like, not so much. And this fabric is absolutely huge. I don't know like how many times they folded this, but this is enormous. And I hope I started hopefully far away enough from the corners to make it fit. I'm pretty sure it will fit on this fabric, but I don't know how many left over I have on all the other sides. So as I said, I will try to fit in the pictures. I don't know if I'm gonna show like so much more whips. I think gonna do one little thing, by the way. Sorry, this is gonna be super weird. Yeah, because I saw my boyfriend's messaging me. He's in the... So yeah, I got cut off because, you know, texting and camera thingies is not going good at the same time. And maybe you can tell from the clock there that some time has passed. Like, I don't know, like 20 minutes? 20 minutes. 20-minute recess recap to get my mind together again for the 3 final whips. Like, it seemed to be going on forever, but I'm nearing the end, so... Okay, now I'm gonna do this first. So this is, I think, my most colorful, intricate design that I'm stitching, and I was so happy that I found this on sale on Sew and Sew because these kits are damn expensive. I'm talking about the Thomas Kincaid Disney Dreams projects. This is Pinocchio, Wishes Upon a Star, and it's, I think, absolutely stunning. I mean, I want to stitch them all. And I got this for, I guess, 50% off on Sew and Sew. Ooh, there's a bug here. Ooh. Okay, back to the story. Okay, 50% off on Sew and Sew. This project is scary big. And I don't know what they were thinking when they were packing this, but this is done on 18 count Aida, which, if you just hear this alone, this is not a bad thing because I don't mind stitching on Aida, it's fine. But who thinks of putting in 3/4 stitches and quarter stitches on an Aida piece that you just stitch 1/1 or 2/1? Who thinks of this? Like, I skipped all the quarter stitches and 3/4 stitches, and I just make it a full cross stitch depending on which color I like best in that particular area. So I'm not gonna bother with, I don't know how many quarter stitches, because it looks awful and you can't just not really put your needle through the middle of an Aida fabric, so I'm just not gonna bother. But apart from this, I really like this kit. So I'm doing the left upper corner first, and I'm sorta parking here, but I'm just going like whatever direction I feel like, and then when I cannot count it anymore, I start with a different color, and then I just leave the thread hanging, like I make half a stitch and then bring the thread back to the front, and then I just go on stitching somewhere else. So don't mind all the threads hanging from it, but I am this far with it. So I still have like 60,000 miles to go on this project, but I really, really like it, and I like working on it. The threads are nice, so I'm super sure that this is gonna be finished someday. But as you can see, long way to go. It's super nice Aida compared to what is in most kits. This is really soft, so this is nice. I thought Candemar made these Disney Dreams things, but no, this is from MCG Textiles, made in the USA. I think this is gonna be finished in like 2025. And look at all this floss. It is so beautiful. The only thing I'm really scary about is, where is it? Is this on this one? No. 3 cards of floss. Oh yes. Blending filament, which I've never used. This is gold blending filament. And it's going places too. Like, and oh, wait, let's do this correctly. Oh, this goes in here. And yes, pearl blending filament. It's so sparkly. This is exciting but super scary. But look at all these amazing colors, like oranges and greens. Like basically every color in the color alphabet. No, this is wrong, but you know, you catch my drift. Is on these cards. So nice. But it makes the packaging super bulky. Like, look at how much thread this is. I guess there's gonna be quite some leftovers. Super bulky, but that's okay. So, second to last whip I'm gonna show. I don't know if I told you how many whips I was gonna show, but I think in total it's 10. So you still have 15 whips left for next video, and I've already been talking for over 40 minutes. So, good job, Jay. So, this is the whip it all started with. And it is, by the way, the boyfriend's out of the picture now, so I'm just gonna keep this for myself. Luckily, I'm a fan too. The pattern I'm talking about is Sprite Stitches. I don't know who made it on Sprite Stitch, but it was on Sprite Stitch. Or is that the designer? I thought the website was called Sprite Stitch. I'm not sure now, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought the website was Sprite Stitch. Either way, I'm talking about a pattern most people have encountered because I think it's one of the most popular free patterns, big free patterns. And it's the Pokemon, the Epic Pokemon Generation 1 Stitch, cross stitch pattern. And as you can tell from, okay, so it's, I think 30 pages, 5 rows, 6 pages each. And I'm now this far. As you can tell, I'm almost finished with the second row, and I'm so proud of this. Like, I cannot even tell you how proud I am of this. But as you can also tell, this was one of my very first projects because, guys, look at how many space I left in this corner. Basically 0. Look how many space I've left over on the other side. A lot. And probably I'm gonna have a lot left over on the bottom, but I just started in the corner because I didn't know I needed extra fabric to frame it. Now I'm thinking that maybe I'm not gonna frame it and maybe I'm gonna finish it into a wall hanging. I mean, I'm not sure yet. I mean, this will take ages and ages more to finish it because I've been working on it since the end of 2014 and I'm not even 33% done. Or like, what did I say, 5 rows? Yeah, I don't know. Like, my math is not good right now. 5 rows? I'm like, yeah, I might be like around 33 right now, but when I finish this row, it's about 40% done. But I've just some stitching left. Ooh, like, I don't know where I am sometimes. Yes, I've just some stitching left in the middle because the top row I just did left to right, like all the way across. And then I just stitched like a color here and then went on with the next color, like almost Pokemon for Pokemon. With the second one, I just took a thread of color, like up until here, just stitch it normally, like the first 2 pages. Then I took a thread of color from the bottom row, stitched all this in the neighborhood, then took the next one on the bottom, stitched all of it all the way until I was over here. So I had the whole bottom row filled in. Like, on some places you can even see how little this is. Like, I've only like 3 or 4 stitches. right here, like 3 done. If it will focus. It won't, but you get the drift. Okay, so until I was all the way across, because I just wanted to have like some, I don't know what I was thinking, but I just wanted to go to the other side. And then I started coming back and filling it in, and now I'm working on the middle section, and this should really like be a goal to get this middle section done and finished soon-ish. Like when we say soon, we all know this is meaning like next year, December. But maybe it will get some love soon. I don't know, I hope so. Like, this is a labor of love. I love working on it because there's so many colors in it, and every time you do something, like, it just magically appears. And I mean, from close up, I don't even like it so much. Like, some of the colors look weird to me, but then if I look at it like this on camera, it's so awesome. And if I look at it from a distance, like if it would be on my wall, I would be staring at it all day because it's so pretty. I mean, it's not typically like, oh my God, it's so pretty because it's art, but I just love all the colors. Like, I'm trying to say something. I don't know really what I want to say, but hopefully you understand that feeling. So let's put it back in its jacket. Oh, this is also one of those plasticky things I got with a chart, I think. And I stitched this from my tablet, so I don't have the chart printed out. The only thing I've printed is the color table. And I think there's 105 colors in, so this is quite a lot. Okay, there's a hole. I think something's been, some little beast has been eating my color table. As long as they don't eat my whip, I'm good. So now we're coming to the very final whip I'm going to show you in this video, because the reason I'm going to show you this one right now and why it's so important to me is because this is the whip that has a deadline. So I promised my grandmother, I think like in the beginning of the year, that I was going to cross stitch her something. And we looked at a lot of patterns in my digital magazines and we picked one out, but I just didn't start it because I had so many other things. I didn't have the material, you know, excuses. And then I was thinking, and then at some point my mom said while I was cross-stitching something, like, oh, maybe you should finish this for your grandmother and frame it and give it to her. And I said, yes, this is a good idea. But then, you know, life happens. You stitch other things. You don't stitch at all. And then you realize it's the end of November. Your grandmother's birthday is about a month away. My grandmother's birthday is on the 28th of December. And you still have to stitch so much on this darn thing that you want to finish for her birthday. So I took it with me last week when I was visiting my boyfriend for a week. So he lives quite far away. So I just took this one project to force me to work on it. And then, of course, I didn't work on it for 5 days when I was there, while I was there for almost 10 days. And then I realized, okay, if I want to finish this darn thing, I have to work on it every single day. So without further ado, what is this you've been talking about? So let me just take for effect, like this is the whole chart. This whole thing. When I started 5 days ago, yes, 5 days ago to stitch, I was not even finished with the top corner, this top right corner. I still had lots of the sky left and like some of the house and some of the cow thingy down here. Okay, I'll show you like a, oops, just a second. I'll grab my, like, what the pattern actually looks like. Yes, got it. So this is the full project. So I just had this, basically this area stitched or almost finished. And this is what I stitched first. And then I realized, okay, You have so many stitches to do, like 3/4 is still not stitched. Or are you gonna make this? I calculated that I had 23 days to stitch, I don't know how many thousand stitches, but it came down to 665 stitches a day, which is a lot. Like 665 stitches is basically 6 hours straight of stitching. And this is just stitching, like no talking and no doing any other things. Luckily, I have a job which allows me to pretty much stitch all day, so this is nice. So I knew I had some time, but then Christmas is coming and I need to go do other work, like where I cannot stitch. So many things you have to do like other than stitching. But I was gonna try anyway to make this work. And as you could maybe already tell from this like brightly colored highlighted chart, I've been doing pretty well in the last week. So remember, just had this done. I'm just gonna like not show it like really close because I don't want to give away the chart, but just to give you an idea, like here, yes, this you can never read it from here. Okay, so I highlight different colors for different days, so just so I can easily count how many stitches I did each day to make sure I'm on track. Purples today, as you can see, I did not really do that well. But you know, there's still some time. I can still stitch them after I finish this. I can stitch about 2 hours. Yes, 2 hours after this. So which I will. Okay, without further ado, get you to the whip, like how far it is right now. Don't mind all the extremely lots of threads because I've been working row by row, as you can probably also tell from the way I highlighted the chart. Remember, 5 days ago, I just had the top corner left done. And look where this beauty is now. Yes, almost 50% done. Yay, I'm so happy with the progress I made. I don't even want to know how many hours I spent stitching since Monday, basically, like 5 days. I mean, I must have stitched like 8 hours on Wednesday. Like stitching during work, stitching when I got home for like 3-4 hours, so. Either way, since Monday, not counting today, I've done 3,103 stitches, which is far above my planned 665 stitches a day. So I'm super proud of this. Like, I need to do some stitches today to make sure I do enough because I know I won't have any time at all this weekend to do any stitching because it's going to be a busy 2 days. Okay, oh, I thought I lost my needle. I already lost the first needle of this. It is somewhere in my boyfriend's room and I don't know where it is. Luckily, there's no animals in the house and I'm pretty sure it's behind the bed or something, but whoops. Note to self, never leave your needles hanging around, but still doing this. So yes, this project has a deadline, 28th of December. It's December 9th now. I'm pretty convinced right now I'm gonna finish this, but we'll see. I don't know, anything can still happen. So this is all my whips so far, or like 10 of my whips, and the most important one. Red Barn by, oh, I didn't even tell you all the names, but okay, it doesn't matter. If you have any questions about where the chart is from or what the pattern is called, just ask me in the comments and I will look it up. Been so chaotic for this first video. I was trying to be organized, but you know, that never turns out the way it's supposed to. So this is called the Red Barn and it's by Design Works. Okay, sorry. I also got this really cheaply off of Sew and Sew. And the reason I'm giving it to my grandmother's first, I know she will appreciate the love, like I said. She really likes it if I cross-stitch things for her. Secondly, because this is a chart which, or like a design I would never put it in my own home. Like, it's really not my taste, but I bought it because it was, I think, 5 or 6 pounds. I'm not sure. It might have been a little bit more expensive, but really cheap on Sew and Sew, so I bought it. But yeah, I think it will make a great gift for her. Even though it might not be her favorite thing, I think she would really appreciate it and hang it somewhere in her home. So hopefully I get it finished before her. And what other thing do I want to say? Oh yeah, the greens. Like, I don't like green to start with, but I blimey hate green right now. I cannot see any green anymore, but I still have to do like pretty much like 80% of the chart that is left is green. So yay me. Why did I pick this one? I will go on and finish this. Okay, so plans for the coming week. First of all, my plan is to update or to make a video every 1 to 2 weeks, depending on how much I did on cross stitching and if I have any time to make the video, because right now I'm home alone and it's nicer to make the video than when there's 60,000 people in the house. So I want to come back to you next Friday or Saturday, depending on when I upload this. My plan for the week is to do the finish this quarter, obviously, and then hopefully in the next 5 days next week, I have Monday off. I should have like time enough for stitching to get like halfway to maybe even the next quarter finished, so that next week it's like 3/4 finished. I just want to build in some time for when it's getting really busy with Christmas, and then I might not have time to stitch. But you don't know, because 2 years ago on second Christmas day I was stitching like whole day. You don't know. So this is the goal, 3/4 of the pattern finished, and maybe depending on how sick I get of the chart of this kit, I will go and make the companion piece of the owl, like the little hedgehog. And then I would have 2 finishes this year, which I think will be my only finishes this year. So yes, that would be really nice. And then I'm down to 23 whips for the new year. And who knows, maybe I even get like something else done at the end of the year, but not next week. This is what I know for next week: 3/4 of the red barn and the companion piece to the little owl. And so next video I will give you updates on these 2 whips, show you some other whips I've been working on in the past year. 15 left. I don't know if I will do all of them. Maybe not, depending on how long it takes. And in the future, before January 1st, I will also tell you about my plans for 2017, but this will all come in the next videos. So sorry for the rambling. Nice to meet you. I hope you liked the video. Hope you did quite a lot of stitching when I was talking away about my stitching. And yes, ask me any questions if you have any. And I hope to see you next time. Bye.